You're listening to School Counseling Simplified, a podcast with easy-to-implement strategies for busy school counselors. Here's your host, Rachel Davis from Bright Futures Counseling.
You're listening to another episode of School Counseling Simplified. In today's episode, I interview an awesome elementary school counselor and a special guest, Bradford. Bradford works in Chattanooga. He's been a counselor for 6 years, and he's a recent adjunct professor. He also teaches middle schoolers every week at his church, so he is in tune with the kiddos. Bradford was one of our Summer Summit presenters this year, and I loved his topic. It was all about using AI in your class lessons. And in this episode, we talk about how to use AI to enhance your counseling program. And as someone who dabbles in AI, I found this really helpful. And I have to say, after talking to him, I feel like I've been using it more and more just for little tasks, and it's kind of a game changer. So I don't know if you're resistant to it or you just haven't got into it yet like me, or maybe you're obsessed with AI. Either way, I think you'll find this episode with Bradford super helpful. So let's go ahead and check it out. Hey there, I hope you're having an awesome summer, but I do want to remind you that school is going to be coming up soon. Some of you may be even going back as soon as early August, and I want to help you feel confident and prepared with a Meet the Counselor lesson. That's why I'm offering a free live training on how to use a Meet the Counselor lesson to engage students and advocate for your role. Everyone who comes will get a PD certificate as well as a free Meet the Counselor lesson that you can use with your kiddos. So if you're looking for a way to introduce yourself to students, to advocate for your role to faculty, and just to have a little fun at the start of the school year, then you're going to love this free training. In this training, I'll be sharing the ins and outs of my favorite Meet the Counselor activity. You'll learn how to organize, set up, and deliver a perfect Meet the Counselor lesson. I'll also share how you can use a Meet the Counselor lesson to ensure that you impact more students. By explaining exactly what your role is and what it's not, more students can connect and utilize your services. You're going to reach more students and have an even larger impact. And I'll share how you can use the Meet the Counselor lesson with faculty to advocate for your position. Learn how to edit the Meet the Counselor lesson so it can be better used with faculty and staff. You're about to start the year by reaching more students than ever before. When students know what services you offer and how to contact you, they'll feel more comfortable reaching out when they need help. When faculty finally understands what the job of a school counselor is and isn't, they'll send more and better referrals. Taking the stigma out of going to see the counselor is vital to a thriving school counseling program, and an effective Meet the Counselor lesson is one of the best tools for getting started on the right foot. I'm offering a couple different times, July 21st and 22nd, so I hope I'll see you there. Go to stressfreeschoolcounseling.com/MTC to save your seat. This live training is a must attend if you're a new school counselor looking to introduce yourself and program to new faculty and students. Or if you're a veteran counselor who's feeling burnout and unappreciated. Or if you're a counselor who feels overwhelmed with referrals and tasks that are not part of your role as a counselor. Or if you're just looking for ways to reach more students and advocate for your role. I know what it's like. Starting the year with an effective Meet the Counselor lesson has been a game changer for my program. Let's face it, even if you've been at your school for years, there are still students and faculty that do not know what counselors do. That's why starting the year with a Meet the Counselor lesson is vital no matter where you are in your counseling journey. By outlining exactly what your responsibilities are, what situations you're available to help with, and what isn't a good fit for your program, you're going to set clear expectations and take the confusion away. So whatever the reason is that you're looking into this, I get it. If you're ready to enhance your counseling program and advocate for your position so you can feel confident and valued, I want to help you get there faster with this simple training. The best part, I'm giving away my favorite Meet the Counselor lesson away for free to everyone that attends. All right, guys, again, I hope I'll see you there. You can save your seat at stressfreeschoolcounseling.com/MTC for my free live training. All right, let's go to the show. Hey, Bradford, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm having so much fun interviewing some Summer Summit presenters, and you may be a familiar voice to the listeners because you were on the podcast last year, and you also presented at Summer Summit last year. So we are just so excited to hear from you.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. For the listeners who may not know you, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I am an elementary school counselor in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been at my current school for 5 years now, and I mostly focus on serving grades 3 through 5 as well as pre-K at my school.
Awesome. I forgot you were from Chattanooga. I was just there. Well, not just there, but back at Christmas time, we went and did like the lights at Rock City and
Okay, nice.
yeah, classic. It was fun. Awesome. Well, yeah. So today I just kind of want to ask you to give us a little sneak peek of your Summer Summit topic where you're going to be sharing about AI, which I'm so excited to hear more about. Yeah, so don't give it all away, but maybe just share with us a little bit about what you're going to be sharing and some strategies for school counselors.
Yeah, in thinking about AI, I would say that's probably like the biggest change that I've experienced and incorporated into my program this school year from last summer, and probably more so this second semester. And so, really just focusing on how I use AI in my program, mostly with classroom lessons, and kind of talking about some of the apps that I use the most, which are Google's AI, Gemini, and Canva. Those are probably the two that I use the most in my program.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah. Can you give us some examples? I've used Gemini before, but I haven't used the Canva AI, which is funny because I'm on Canva like every day
Yeah.
and I always see it pop up and I'm like, oh no, I don't need that. But I should probably try it. Can you give us an example of like how you're using this in your class lessons?
Sure. So when I'm using Canva, I'm probably using it more for my middle school class at my church, the class that I teach, and that's really just to create different illustrations. So it's not just words on a screen. So the AI on Canva, I mean, it lets you choose the different type of art styles like mid-century, retro, 3D, all these different ones. And I try to be as specific as possible because you can get some really crazy things. But you enter that into the text box and then it just generates like these incredible images. And I mean, I love it. I love the AI on Canva. Um, and then with Gemini, it's a lot of conversations I feel I have like, hey, here's what we're talking about this week in my lessons. This is what I'm thinking about. Can you kind of suggest maybe some activities that I haven't even thought up of
Oh,
before, or maybe even like an outline in how to go about that lesson?
yes. Now, do you have a preference for Gemini versus like Chat GTP?
I think I just tend to lean toward Gemini just because I have, Google on my computer for work, and so it's right there. So I just tend to go with that one.
And do you feel like is there any strategy behind it? Do you feel like you have to because I feel like it kind of gets to know you, right?
Mhm.
And like once you I know people my husband uses it all the time. And so he like has it dialed, it's like his buddy that knows like exactly what he likes. But I feel
Yeah.
like I try to do something, I don't use it enough. So I feel like I'm always kind of disappointed with the results. So do you have any like hacks for that?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up just because I've asked Gemini, I'm like, hey, do you remember this thing I talked to you about like weeks ago in a different chat? And it's like, no, I don't do that. I can't go back into others. And so I'm experimenting with the was it Gemini Advanced right now? So I don't know if the advanced one does that, but it saves all my conversations. So I'll just like maybe copy and paste something I asked it before into this new one and kind of continue the conversation there. But probably the first time I used it, I mean, it's a little intimidating because it's blank. I'm like, what's gonna happen? What are we about to about to do? So it's like, hello, like I find myself being very polite when I'm talking with AI. Like, can you please help me with, this? I need an activity. We're talking about integrity and here's what I'm thinking. And it's like, of course, absolutely. Like it's so positive. Um, so yeah, that's probably how I start off.
Okay. And then you find like what it's giving you is pretty sound info, like the suggested activities and everything.
Yeah, I did an activity where I think it was I forget what the topic was, but it was like around Valentine's Day. So it gave us a Valentine's activity where it gave me the instructions on how to create invisible ink with like very
Oh,
simple materials. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. It didn't work out so well that I had I had to go to a different route because it wasn't very specific, probably with like the amounts of the different things that I needed. So it was a bust, but it was a good object lesson in the moment with the kids. Like, hey, when things don't go our way, how can we recover? How can we continue on? Um, but that just kind of involved like me going back to it and going, hey, I tried it this way. Could you maybe help me reword this here? Things like that. And so, yeah, I probably have sometimes with some of these projects like 9 to 10 pages of conversations between me and Gemini.
But you feel like overall it's time saving,
Yes, yes.
even though you're putting in the time to like have the conversations.
Yeah, I mean that's how I think about it. Like I was just at an AI conference in San Diego in April,
Oh, cool.
and one of the speakers, which blew my mind, was what is it, Mark Brackett, I believe. And where is he at? Yale. Incredible guy. I was like, this guy's talking about emotional regulation. I'm like, why is he here? Like, he's not talking about AI at all. But if I remember correctly, it was him talking about like, okay, I hear a lot of people talk about, well, AI is such a valuable tool, it's a time saver, but in using it, what are you doing with the rest of your time? So when I'm approaching AI, I don't want to use it as a crutch. I know I have at times like, oh man, I didn't finish this lesson and I need
Right.
something. But I try to be very mindful and strategic about how I use it. And so it's more like, hey, I need 5 examples on how what it would look like for a student to be resilient in fourth grade, and it'll spit those out because like I know I can come up with them, but just it helps me come up with those a little bit faster.
Right. So it's more like a supplemental
Yeah.
material. And I love, yeah, I mean, it's essentially the same thing as Googling because it's all sourced just from the internet.
Mhm.
So you would have to Google it and then you're going to read through an article that talks about resiliency strategies and you're going to come through and like find the ones,
Yeah.
whereas you ask it and it pulls them out for you. So I love it. I'm here for the efficiency. That's
Yeah. It's
great.
awesome.
Awesome. Now, aside from your class lessons, do you use it for anything else work-wise?
Um, work what I haven't experimented a lot with it, but in kind of outlining sessions with the student just for one-on-ones, because it's like, okay, I can refer to different books that I have and things like that. But I was like, hey, here's the issue or the challenge I'm having with the student or what they're bringing to me or what a teacher has shared with me. How can I be strategic about this? And it created like a 6 session outline on like little topics and that I could have with the student and how we could each one would build on the next one. So I didn't stick with it, but like that was pretty remarkable that it would help me in that way.
I was just thinking because I was just recording a presentation and I was talking about self-assessments and how when I do self-assessments, I like to make sure that each statement's aligned with an objective, that you're going to cover in that session. And then the self-assessment will measure if this child's met the objective
Mhm.
or not. And I was just thinking you could do that. Sometimes it's hard, to like
Yeah.
come. But if you were like, okay, these are the session objectives, write me a statement based, yes or no self-assessment to measure these objectives. I bet it could do something like that.
Yeah, definitely something like that. I know I always try to make sure that the language I'm using with students is, that they understand what I'm talking about. Like I'm not going over their head. And so it'll give me something complicated, or I'll share with it like, hey, that's a little too deep. Like, how can we make this, better for a like a third grader? I was an adjunct professor last semester and just I was teaching developmental psychology, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't understand this. And
Yeah.
I present on it. And so I would go to Gemini and I'm like, explain this to me like I'm an eighth grader. And it and I'm like, this is incredible. So I'd go to the kids, my college students, and I'd be able to explain it better just so that it wasn't going over everyone's head.
Hey, oh, I love that. That's so cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing. I can't wait for your presentation and to learn more. I know I'm not like resistant to it. I guess I'm just like lazy about it. I've done so long without it that I'm like,
Mhm.
I feel like it'll take me more time, but I can see where it would save time. So
Mhm.
that's good to hear. Oh, and the images. I did forget. I did use it last year. My son was turning 2, and for his birthday, his favorite things were turtles and tractors. He like couldn't decide. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have like all the T's, turning 2, turtle, tractor, party. But for his invitation, I could not find a turtle riding a tractor. So I had AI like create me
Yeah.
a turtle riding a tractor.
Yeah.
So cute. But there were some weird ones too.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like for like a kid's birthday party. Um,
Mhm.
awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about your day in the life as a school counselor. I know every day is different, but I just love to hear what counselors are up to.
Yeah. So this year just continuing doing a lot of classroom lessons. I would say this year I've probably had fewer small groups and fewer one-on-ones with students because we're in this biweekly teaching schedule, myself and my co-counselor. And so we're always cranking out these lessons on our school tenants. And so when we're not doing that, I just try to be as visible as possible with students. So today's actually our second to last day of school. So it's kind of like doing final lunch bunches and just kind of giving kids that attention. I'm moving to the second and third grade hallway next year. So it's kind of like reconnecting with some of those students and starting to build those relationships because we're going to see more of each other next year. So yeah, no, we survived another year. It's just a lot of teaching, and I mean, to me, it's the best job in the world.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. No, it definitely is. It's so fun. So you're a co-counselor and you were teaching 2 lessons to every class a month?
Yes.
Okay. So are you splitting it? Like you teach one a month and they do one a month, or how does that work?
So like I will teach I will see a like on Monday, for example, fourth grade, third grade, and fifth grade. And then in the afternoon, she's doing K through two. And then,
Okay.
every day we see
Yeah.
every class in the school in 1 week. And then the following week it's our culinary class. And the week after that, we come back and see everybody again.
Same topic or different?
We try to build on them. So like our tenant for the fourth quarter was never giving up.
Mhm.
So and each grade level has their own unique never give up tenant. So we're just each lesson builds. So it's kind of like each quarter a 4 to 5 part series.
And are you designing those or is this provided to you?
No, I'm designing them
Or
all
Gemini?
myself. Yeah, and yeah. I'm asking Gemini's help for like activities and examples. Because I've tried to incorporate just it's not just the AI, but like more like STEM based
Mhm.
projects.
That's a great
Um,
idea.
yeah, so like more hands-on things because like I mean I love books. I love using books in my lessons, but I'm like I feel like we were just seeing students a lot more. I'm like, okay, I can't just read to them every time. Like we definitely got to be doing something hands-on.
Or I'm thinking like even if you already have something, you could give it to AI to build on it. Like here's some
Mhm.
discussion questions I want to do. But
Yeah.
instead of doing discussion questions, maybe it could come up with like a game or,
And
something.
that's one of the incredible things about it. I used it for my student leadership. I gave it the exact title of a YouTube video, and I'm like, I just need some discussion questions based off this video. I want to use this video. And so it's like, no problem. And in like 10 seconds, it gave me like this long list of discussion questions. And I'm like, these can't be right. Like, how did you in 10 seconds come up with these questions for a like 2 minute video? And it was spot on. It's not always
Right.
perfect. Um, I ran into that problem recently where it gave me some incorrect information, but I mean, it's incredible.
And you went to an AI conference in San Diego. Was that
Yes.
just fun? Or like did your school want you to go?
Yeah, through a organization that partners with a number of schools. I had a coworker who's on this team. She couldn't make it, and so the principal offered it to me since that she knew I've used so much AI this
Yeah.
year. So I was like, sweet, let's do it. And so went out
Was
there
it
with
just
her,
for
and
educators?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like it was at the San Diego Convention Center.
Yeah, you
And
still
okay, yeah. And so just I mean it's all these educators, all these people talking about, it's like school counselors, social workers, teachers, and the different grade levels, just talk about how they've used AI in their schools.
awesome. That's really cool. I love it. Well, we're so excited for your presentation. One final question before you go. If you had to give advice to a brand new school counselor who's just getting started this fall, what would you say?
Um, Advice. Make yourself known to the kids. I mean, if you're going to be serving them and be exposed to, the full kid, the different areas of their life and all the things they're going to share with you, they have to trust you, and the only way they can trust you is if they know who you are and they see you. So whether it's lunch, walk through the cafeteria at breakfast time, or on the playground, just be visible.
Oh, I love that. And yeah, so you're just showing some of who you are and your interests and
Hmm.
things. Looking in, they can't see your screen, but the background of your office, it looks like you have a lot of like personal things there you like. Like I'm seeing like some superhero stuff and a Bucky's hat and some bobblehead.
Yeah, and I've got anxiety over here and Stitch
Yeah.
around. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Showing a little bit of who you are to build that
Mhm.
rapport. Great
Yeah.
advice. Well, thank you so much, Bradford. Always so much fun chatting with you. If the listeners want to connect and follow up, where can they reach you?
They can follow me on Instagram at the Good Counselor.
Awesome. Thanks again for your time, and we look forward to your session.
Thank you.
I had a lot of fun interviewing Bradford. I hope you guys loved listening to it and learned something. Perhaps you're feeling inspired and motivated to use some AI in your counseling program. Like I had mentioned, he was one of our Summer Summit presenters, and the summit already happened. It was back in June. So while it is finished, you can still access it, of course, if you're an Impact member. So for all of my Impact members out there, go ahead and access the recordings that you missed, or do a little rewatch if you want to revisit some of those awesome little nuggets of wisdom. But for those of you who were like, oh no, I missed it, maybe you just started listening to the podcast or you were unable to attend, you can still join us in Impact. You can go to stressfreeschoolcounseling.com/impact to join today, and then you'll still have access to Summer Summit and all of the recordings and everything. So we kind of keep it available all year long because I know everyone has a different schedule. And of course, Impact is my membership for school counselors. That includes access to hundreds of school counseling resources, on demand, unlimited access, print, download, and use with your kiddos right away. We also have lesson plans, video implementation guides, and of course our amazing community and monthly PD. So if you're interested in Impact, it's definitely a great treat to get yourself before back to school season. All right, go to stressfreeschoolcounseling.com/impact to check it out and to catch up on all those Summer Summit sessions like Bradford's. And I hope you guys have an awesome week. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to School Counseling Simplified. You can find the links from today's episode in the show notes. If you'd like to connect with Rachel, she's on Instagram and Teachers Pay Teachers at Bright Futures Counseling. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any episodes of School Counseling Simplified. Talk to you next week.